guys, welcome to tonight's BB23 chat. It's veto night!
It's episode 3.
It's the first veto of the season.
Last time, Frenchie nominated Alyssa and Kyland.
DeFook?
Kyland's a pawn, and Alyssa's in a showmance.
It was more like Alyssa could potentially, maybe one day be in a showmance. So I'm gonna punish her for maybe being, maybe Christian has a crush on her. I don't know.
Nobody knew what the F was going on with these noms. They were all just like...
This is not what Frenchie had discussed with everyone before.
Well, who was the last person he talked to?
I can't even remember. No, that day he was talking to his bros for like hours leading up to the ceremony. I do remember that.
All right, well, Alyssa and Frenchie and Christian had a chat.
And Alyssa was like, what did I do to deserve this?
And Frenchie said, you two are showmancing. You're
like,
doing it.
Oh man, you better get your eyes checked because it is day 3. There's nothing happening here. We're on the same team and that's it.
Are you kidding me? It's day 3.
Are you shitting me?
It's day 3.
Yeah.
They had to talk in his speak. Are you shitting me? Alright.
So yeah, they're like, no, we're not. That's insane. It's day 3. Nobody's lip smacking in here.
They might as well have said, you blew it, asshole. You effed the whole thing up. Throw it out. It's garbage.
Well, he also said, Alyssa, you lied to me because I asked you if you knew of any alliances forming or whatever. And she said no. And that was the truth.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh man, I might have like messed up or whatever. Like, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I might have messed up.
The next segment was nice.
Very
that
touching.
It was a teachable moment, but I just hate the way it happened. Where Frenchie was like, I won't say this the right way. L, G, B, T.
Yeah,
Q.
I just feel like he panders a lot. And I don't enjoy it.
It's so, I'm sorry, phony?
Yeah, it feels very phony.
But I did really enjoy hearing about Sarah Beth and her girlfriend, Shelly.
Yes.
She loves her, and I love that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that she has a good relationship with her family.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they may, like, struggle with it, they're still accepting of her, which is awesome.
It always kills me, like, when we're watching Drag Race.
Oh, my God.
And the queens start crying, and they're like, I haven't told my family.
It's always when they're doing their makeup, too.
I know! And we are just dying in
Yeah.
our living room. We feel for them so much.
Or even more, at the end of the season, when they have, like,
What
the
would you tell
finalist
little
families
Derek?
on... Oh, that, too.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, like, at the finale, when they have the messages from, like, family members, and maybe it's, like, their grandparent
and they're
or something.
like, we love you. We want you to win. You're so great. We can't wait to see you.
So touching.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So Frenchie is freaking listening at doors.
I gotta tell you guys, if you are only...
Skulking around.
Yeah. If you are only watching the episodes this season...
You didn't see Jack.
I'm sorry. But what they've shown on the show so far...
Seems like a different show.
Yes, it does. I mean, I think a lot of it is the time constraint, especially since it's the first week. So, like, they gotta introduce everyone and, like, set everything up. But, like, this week was 0 to, like, 3,000 miles an hour.
I feel like we're watching an episode of Father Knows Best. Father, what will we do this week? Well, kitten, we're going to put 2 people up on the block. That nasty woman over there, who's knocking boots with the guy with the cornrows. And oh, Father, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's been a wild week. So I highly recommend checking out the spoiler videos if you're not watching those already. Because it's just too much for us to even talk about right now. Because it has been absolutely insane.
Yes.
And I gotta say, they... Again, maybe it was just the time constraints. I don't know. But they really did Frenchie some favors this week. Because he has been an absolute disaster.
He's been a steaming pile of poopage. Yeah. All right. So he's listening doors, skulking around. He's like, whoa. Lil D's moving his lips. He must be talking about me.
Well, he saw that Lil D, Travis, Claire, Kylan, they were all talking, and they were actually talking about how insane Frenchie is. And Tiffany was in there too, and he was listening at the door, and then Tiffany walked out and was like, whoa, sorry.
Is that what he learned in the military, to listen at the door?
I don't know.
He's gotten this wrong so many times. I'm wondering, like, I don't think I would want him protecting me.
Thank you for your service, Frenchie.
Yes.
On a serious note. But, like, yeah, game-wise, messy. So, I mean, he did stumble on a legit conversation, though, about, like, they were talking about how he starts his own fires, and then he's got to put them out. And they were joking around about starting an alliance called the Firefighters. So
they're not wrong.
They're not. But, yeah, he picked a good one to listen in on.
I guess.
I don't know how much he actually heard. But anyway.
I think he just assumes that everybody's talking about him.
I guess.
But I mean, when you're the HOH, isn't everybody going to be talking about
not just when you're the HOH. It's when you're doing the mother effing most. But anyway,
the most hilarious moment in this episode.
Wait, you gotta build up to that.
All right.
So, Frenchie approaches Team Aces as they're all hanging out and chatting. So that's Whitney, Brent, Hannah, and Lil D.
Right.
And Frenchie starts, like, calling Lil D out in front of his whole team, being like, I know you're trying to start alliances.
I know what's going on.
Yeah. I'm not a dummy.
I know what's going on. Tell me.
Yeah.
Which one of you is starting an alliance?
Meanwhile, Frenchie's starting 1,000,000 alliances this week. Also, they didn't have time to show that on the show, but whatever.
Seriously, how many alliances did he... does he have a final two with almost everyone in the
He's
house?
got a lot of final twos going on, but he also has, like, multiple half-house or more alliances.
You were throwing my name around. I know it.
So then...
I know it. Come clean.
Lil D follows him as Frenchie walks away, and he's like, wait, what are you talking about? What is it me and Travis? And Frenchie's like, because he was kind of...
Jackpot.
It seemed like he was just kind of throwing something out there that he didn't necessarily know was true to see if Lil D would own up to something, and it worked. He took the bait. But yeah, then the funniest part...
He's got his glass of Coke.
Frenchie is trying to get back in the house.
He's got his uneaten plate of tacos. And he is struggling at the door. And freaking Lil D is just like...
Oh, let me get that for
door.
You. Oh my god.
Thanks.
It would have been funny if he just, like,
dropped it. Yeah, or just left him there at the door, like...
Oh my gosh.
Now open the door, please.
Alright, well, Brent is very close with Frenchie now.
Yes.
He started out as Frenchie's first target this week, but then they bonded over real life stuff, and they've become very, very close this week. So Brent is like, oh shit, I have some influence with Frenchie, and I need to make sure he's not going to target one of my teammates, because that's not going to be great for me.
Right,
so
because I want to keep my team intact.
Yeah, so he talks to Lil D, and he's, like, kind of really condescending to Lil D, which is frustrating to watch. But he, in a not super nice way, lets him know...
He's in trouble.
You're in trouble this week.
Yeah.
So be careful. You could be going up as a replacement nominee if the veto is used.
Right.
But the way he said it when he was like, oh, you should be up on the block right now. It's like a miracle that you're not.
Ridiculous.
It was just like, oh my god, too much.
All right, well, we have a new alliance alert. Alliance alert. Woo, woo, woo,
I'm very excited for this alliance.
It's called The Cookout.
Yes, we've got Azza, Big D, Tiffany, and Xavier.
And they added Kylan in.
Yeah. I believe they also said that they're kind of looking out for Hannah, but she's not, like, fully in the alliance right now. But I
like this alliance.
Yeah, it's a good group, and they are really adamant about not all getting caught, like, talking to each other. So I don't think they've ever met with all of them at once, except for, like, when they were setting that up. But Kylan wasn't even there.
No.
But they were like, yeah, we're just gonna, like, meet up a few of us at a time here and there, but never, like, a full group, because we can't be
like Big
caught
Brother
up in
Canada.
That. What do you mean?
I thought there was an alliance like that. We're gonna meet up.
I mean, everybody always says that,
Yeah.
but how many people can actually follow through on it?
All right,
But
well,
Tiffany the gem that is Tiffany. She is the grill master.
I could see that. I think it would be very exciting for Tiffany to win this whole season.
Oh my god, I'm loving her so far.
I am also.
She is so entertaining, so funny.
She's so comforting.
Yes. And she knows the game so well.
She does.
I just love every time she pops up on the feeds. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Yes, Tiffany.
I would love for her to win. I was watching some feed action before of her and Azza, and I was just like...
love that.
She is wonderful. All right, so, Frenchie and Brent. Let's final two this.
So this is one of Frenchie's many final twos.
All I could think of was, Brent, don't go in the tent with Frenchie.
What? No! That's such
Don't
an obscure reference. I don't think that's a good reference for this.
Don't go in the tent with Frenchie.
I don't think that's a good reference for this. But yeah, they're talking about a final two deal. And Brent is also trying to work a little magic here and move the target from Lil D onto Travis because Brent doesn't want to lose a teammate this early.
Well, he threw Travis under the bus hard with Frenchie.
Yeah.
He's like,
he's a young buck. He's smart. He's like already sold his company and like retired to Hawaii or whatever.
Retired? What's that?
Is he retired?
Yeah, I think he is.
Oh, I thought he was still doing stuff. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, he probably is, but like,
damn, I want to be
doesn't
retired.
Have to. All right. So it's time to pick players for the veto.
Oh, okay.
So Frenchie picks first. Oh, Tiffany.
Oh, yay. Love it. Okay. Alyssa.
No.
No, we went in
Kylan
order.
was next.
Kylan. House guest choice?
What?
So he picks out Travis.
Oh.
Yeah, and Frenchie's like, oh. Because going into it,
I love that.
Frenchie said, I don't want Travis or Lil D playing because those are his two main options for replacement nominees.
Well, Alyssa, why don't you pick? Hold it up to the camera.
It's Derek X.
What?
A.K.A. Lil D.
Lil D.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, hot dog. Poor Frenchie. Worst case scenario. Yes. Too bad. Yeah, I was just like, fantastic.
Yeah, so then it's time for the veto competition.
They made them change into swimwear.
For what? They weren't getting wet or anything.
For T's and A's. What else?
I guess so. What is this, a chorus line? So, yeah,
well, I guess because it was the BB
it was supposed to be
bar.
like a spring break.
They didn't get wet. They didn't get wet.
It was supposed to be like a spring break theme, like swimming up to a bar in a pool.
Roll your cherry down the drink and get it in the
largest,
cup.
like, mixed drink, whatever. Honestly, though, I did enjoy the competition. I mean, the theme is whatever, but...
I did, but it was just slightly sus.
The challenge itself, though, I thought was a lot of fun.
You had to use the extra fruit slices to guide your cherry through the other fruits in the correct order.
They had a couple of set obstacles that you had to work through, and then they had a bunch of loose pieces that you could place wherever on the board to try and hit those set obstacles. So... I like this competition because I feel like they're giving us things that are not, like, purely strength-based. So, like, we're getting mental competitions that still have some sort of, some sort of physical element to them, so it's not just, like, straight-up questions. But I thought this was a really cool one. I enjoyed it.
So, Lil D was super smart by cheating off of everybody else.
Oh!
He started working on the bottom.
Yeah.
Because he knew everybody else was already working on the top. And he said, why reinvent the wheel?
Yeah.
And it paid off. That was very smart of him.
It was.
Especially since Frenchie doesn't drink no cocktails. He only shotguns beers.
All right. So Lil D ended up winning. His strategy paid off. That was a big win for him because he could have definitely been the target this week.
I have to say, I'm finding it difficult to find any thing that I like about Frenchie.
Yeah, this week really, it was a lot. It was a lot.
Frenchie knows he's messy, but not really. I don't think he really owns up to it.
Yeah.
So
He's acting like he's already got this thing wrapped up. I'm going to say that.
Brent tells Lil D, you better do what Frenchie wants.
Yeah, a lot of people are telling Lil D, just do what Frenchie wants. Like, don't ask any questions. Like, you want to gain favor with Frenchie. Does he, though? Who cares? After the nomination, like, the POV ceremony, he's not going to be at HOH anymore.
No.
Who cares? It's ridiculous the way that they're, like, worshiping him right now.
I know. He goes and meets with Frenchie in the HOH room, and Frenchie actually says, do what's best for your game as long as you do what I want.
Yeah, well, he was like, do what's best for your game, and what's best for your game is doing what I want. Mm-hmm. No, he didn't say it like that exactly.
But that's exactly what
that's the vibe.
Went down.
That was the vibe.
So he promised safety to Lil D if he uses the veto on Kylan.
Yeah.
He promises you safety. How?
Well,
because he has all the young bucks in his stable.
Because he also revealed to Lil D, like, I got this group of, like, 11 people. We're not really an alliance, per se, but...
11 people.
He literally said 11 people.
Wow.
And he was like, yeah, we're just, like, really close friends. We hang out. And it's, like, not like we're shunning the other 5, but, like, if they had made the effort, it could have been, like, the whole house.
Oh.
What?
Which would have done no good whatsoever.
What is going on here? So, like, that was only a little tiny piece of the insanity. But what they didn't show on the show was, like, a lot of stuff. But...
yeah.
Okay, first let's just say Alyssa asks Lil D to use the veto on her. She's like, if you use it on me, you'll be safe with me moving forward. You'll be safe with my team. Blah, blah, blah. Pretty standard stuff there. But... what they didn't show was how much Frenchie was, like, flip-flopping all over the place, telling people different things. Mm-hmm. He was telling Travis to try and convince Lil D not to use the veto. He wanted Kylan to stay up on the block because it seemed like he wanted to secretly gather the votes to get rid of Kylan. He was asking Lil D to use the veto on Alyssa so that Travis could go up against Kylan. Like, there was...
oh, my God.
It was a nightmare.
I can imagine.
It was absolutely insane, but Lil D was like, no, I made a promise to Kylan, and I'm going to follow through on that.
All right. So, finally, somebody does what they say they're going to do. Frenchie, not. All right, so it's time for the veto ceremony, and Lil D uses the veto on Kylan, as expected.
Yep.
And Frenchie chooses the stud bull he can't beat to go up on the block.
These speeches, man.
Trap. I never knew the farm was so not exciting. All right. Frenchie is a little snaky boy, says
That's
Travis.
what Travis says. I mean, Frenchie did promise that he wasn't going to go after anybody from his move-in group, and
he promised a lot of stuff that he didn't back up.
True.
Frenchie thinks this HOH is a total success.
I mean, if you're only looking at... Frenchie was saying he wanted to go after, like, a big... male target or whatever, like a meathead.
There's no guarantee that he's going home, though. So it may be a 0 success.
Yeah.
And
I would not call this HOH a success, though. I would say it was a disaster.
Ozza said, it's a carnival ride.
That's a nice way to put it.
I think it's a pile of dog poop that's been out in the rain and you can't pick it up because it got all wet and like... bleh.
On that note, thanks for watching.
Am I right?
Yeah. Let us know, guys, what did you think of this episode? And how do you feel about the way these episodes are telling the story compared to the live feeds if you've been watching that? Because I feel like I'm watching 2 completely different shows right now.
Yeah.
And, like, that happens a lot. But this one...
it didn't used to, though, in previous seasons. Like, more towards now, the present, yes. But back in the day...
yeah. But, I mean, it's also tough to say because we don't usually get to see the feeds week 1. So who knows what the hell we've been missing the last few years, you know? Maybe it's always like this and we're missing so much stuff.
Yeah. That could be. But I don't know if Frenchie's going to settle down.
This just seems like an epic meltdown. But anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you check out those spoilers every day.
If you want to pre-order our air fryer cookbook, check out the link in the info box.
And it's available now on Kindle, if you have a Kindle.
Yes, immediately. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. And until tomorrow.
Much love.